So you made the mistake of taking an IQ test. First of all, shame on you because it is not pragmatic to take an IQ test. I would say it's a waste of time. But since you now know your current IQ, what do you do with this information? Is it valid? Should you dictate the rest of your life on this score like I did? I don't know about that. Because personally, I think that IQ is something that can be not only gamed, but it can be improved over time by studying and practice and just developing your brain in different ways. So, just as an example, I'll show you the effect of an IQ test on a very young person, myself. In the 5th grade, I took an IQ test. It was just this online thing. Back then, the internet was really slow. It was over AOL, something on AOL. And I remember scoring a 135. And yay, like, okay, you're welcome to glaze me now. But I remember being so happy to get this 135 and considering myself like some kind of little genius. Even though it was just this online test it was basically like a little survey. It wasn't as advanced as the ones you see these days. But after taking that test, I really internalized that narrative. It bolstered my personal narrative of being the smart kid. I was already in gifted, and now I was equipped with this IQ 135. I remember quoting this crap all the time at school. Or maybe it was just in my mind. I just keep telling myself this to make myself feel smart. And I think it did have a huge effect by building my identity around this concept of being, I guess, inherently intelligent, that I just went a little bit of an extra mile in school. But over time, it became a crutch, and I relied on this identity instead of hard work. And I eventually, as you can tell from my previous videos, did not do well in college. But so I was actually pretty scared when I took another IQ test finally. I'm 33 years old now, which is, wow, that's 23 years later. And 23 years later, I actually improved by 1 point, 136. So, there's some proof that you can improve your score. But it came at a cost. If I had scored lower, what if I scored a 100 or 110 instead? Would that have shattered my reality? Would that have made me rethink my entire existence and my occupation, my future prospects, things like that? These are things that we're susceptible to as humans, and it made me really feel like my identity is pretty fragile. And I'm sure people out there relate to that too. Yeah. So if you're watching this video, you either were just subscribed to me or you've recently taken an IQ test. If you don't mind letting me know how you feel about your results, I'd really like to know if you feel the same way about your identity and how the fragility of how you feel about yourself and your own narrative, and how your results affected it. Yeah, so I've been seeing online a lot of people posting their results and having their, I guess, egos bruised and things like that. And to me, that's why I don't recommend IQ tests. And for example, people, really smart people like Magnus Carlsen, the great chess master, he hasn't taken one. I'm sure he would do very well on one, but there is that risk there. What if it shatters his reality? I don't know. There has to be some kind of grain of fear there, of not seeing what you want to see. And I just want you to know that especially after taking the test multiple times, these kinds of tests multiple times, these questions are definitely things that you can learn, and I think it's undersold to the public, the fact that you can develop your brain just like you can develop muscles. Putting in reps, practicing, studying, and things like that will make you develop your neural highways into a more powerful structure that will make your brain overall a stronger tool at your disposal. I might not be the best example of this. I've made like dozens of videos now, and I feel like my articulacy skill is still in its infancy, but there are people who practice speaking for years and years before they can really hone in and become great speakers. I don't even know if using the word hone in was good just now. But yeah, I'm just trying to pull the thread and get better at articulacy here. I'm about 5 minutes into this video, and I felt pretty comfortable talking earlier to you. And even at an IQ of 136, I'm struggling to come up with words. And a lot of people would consider this to be like almost idiotic, not being able to come up with the words that you want to, whenever you want to express your thoughts and words, feelings, whatever. I don't know, it's just never come easily to me. I'm not an extroverted person, I'm an introverted person. I'm trying to be more extroverted, hopefully practicing conversational videos in the future whenever I'm trying to invite other people onto the channel, trying to talk to more people. I'm trying to basically dig out the inner extrovert there. Because my narrative is that I want to be a part of my narrative is being a great speaker. And yeah, this is just one way to practice it. I actually saw, I was talking to someone on Twitter, well, I guess it's X now, and their perspective, and they have a similar number of subscribers as me on YouTube. They have way more on Twitter, but they want to focus on quality. And they only have 2 videos. Which, I mean, it's whatever. They have a bunch of followers on X. They're building a following somewhere. But that just goes to show how I feel like people underestimate the process. This, for me, creating crappy videos is just part of the process. And if you're here along, following the journey, thanks for being here. Yeah, I think I should get back to work. So I'll talk to you later.